So, yeah, let's talk.
How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you guys for tuning into A Connection TV, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connections that we're going to adopt with today are with Lydell, Sutton, and Griff.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, my name is Stephen Cord, aka Iwante. I used to perform as Iwante, but I've transitioned. Now I am director Stephen L. Cord.
Okay, so you know when you use the word transition, that basically means that you went
Yes.
from you went from female to male. So let's correct that.
I've transitioned inside my soul.
Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your background, especially professionally now in entertainment.
Okay. My family's originally from Thomasville, North Carolina. Originally Charleston, South Carolina. They moved to Thomasville, North Carolina. Then they moved to Brooklyn. So they went through a divorce, and I had to live between Brooklyn and North Carolina growing up.
Okay.
I have the best of both cities.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more partial to New York because New York taught me how to be tough. Yeah, and I know you're from New York too.
Yes, yes.
And it gives you that sense of like, what's the new word that the kids use? Savage. It makes you a savage. Yeah, see, I can keep up. My nephew always gives me shit, but I can keep up.
Okay, okay. So why entertainment? Why do you love directing, producing, writing, and acting?
Because I want attention.
Okay, okay.
No, no,
That's
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. No, I'm a natural storyteller.
okay.
One day I was at an open mic, and the guy told me, he said, you're a natural storyteller. And I didn't know what he meant by that. So it took me a couple years to just really get into the art of my artistry, just creating this character, getting into music and telling stories through music. So I wanted to find a way that I always been passionate about cinema, and I wanted to get that experience so I'll know how to be funny. That way I can bring that over to the movie side.
Okay. Okay.
Then I got courage, and finally I said, you know what? I guess I was my biggest doubter, and I kept saying, nah, you're not going to do good. Don't do it. And then I just kept doubting myself, and I said, you know what? Get over yourself. Just do it. And then I just started getting into it, and from there I just fell in love with it, and I couldn't imagine my life without it.
All right. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. So this particular movie, by the
Mhm.
way, I watched it last night. I have to tell everybody I watched it last night, and I was entertained,
Really?
and although the content was very serious, I found myself laughing because of Griff. Griff is funny. Like
It's funny.
he's funny because, and it's not like natural like Martin Lawrence comedy funny. It's funny because I can't imagine someone behaving like that toward me. Because that's exactly what I would do. I would laugh in his fucking face. Like some of the things that he says, I was just like, "Are you freaking serious?" So, explain to the audience and everybody that's watching the concept behind "Don't Marry Griff" and where did it come from?
Okay, so you can imagine doing the scenes with Griffith. I was trying to hold it in because I was just laughing my ass off. Um, this film came about because my grandmother, like, I love my grandmother. I admire her. She sacrificed so much for me. And just hearing her stories of going through domestic abuse with my grandfather, I just couldn't imagine this man doing this to this woman who I love so much, and this guy who I love, like beating my grandmother. Like she always protected me, but now that I'm older, she's slowly telling me those stories. And I wanted to take, because my signature is I take a dramatic issue and then I try to put my signature comedy spin.
Okay.
Like even with my trailers, like I want you to come in thinking, oh my God, it's drama, like it's gonna be sad. But when you come in, I hit you with that twist. I want to make you get something different. I want you to leave with something,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
So that's how the character came about, Lyadell, because, my grandmother was forced she wasn't forced. She went into a relationship by choice but she couldn't get out because of force,
Mm.
So I wanted to create a character that was in that mold, and I wanted to have the audience, get all this information, but I want them to also laugh about the situation.
Okay. Yeah, because I was
So
I posted a video on Instagram dying because I'm like, there's no way in the fucking world this man would talk to me like this. And I don't care how big he is, how tough he think he is, his background, there's no way. And I'm just sitting here laughing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching it, and I know Chris, so it was very interesting seeing him act, and I never got a chance to meet. Is it Junior or JR?
JR.
Okay, I
JR.
never got a chance to meet him, but I know he's a popular face. How did you link up with the two guys to do this?
Okay, so I saw Chris in the show Bait,
Right.
because I love Bait. Like, I thought this show was like innovative. A lot of the YouTube shows that I see now are the same topics. And excuse my neighbor, she's in the background. But you can hear, you see a lot of like young Black guys coming out of the closet, struggling with their sexuality. And I wanted to create a world that's, accepted, like where we're accepted. And I wanted to have these strong, well-rounded Black presence in the film. I wanted people to see him and be like, okay, I can identify with Griff, I can identify with Lydell, I can identify with Sutton. So I wrote the film for Chris after seeing him in Bait.
Okay.
I said he can do Sutton. I was like, yes. So I reached out. He said he's going to do it. JR wasn't originally casted in the movie. I had another actor, but he couldn't do it because of his schedule. So I asked Chris, I said, well, do you know anybody? And he said, well, JR, because they worked together in Bait, and I didn't put it together. I met JR, he read for the part, and I was like, oh my God, this is great. But I was nervous because I'm like, they're on Bait, so I don't want people to think, oh, this is Bait coming into my world. But the entertainment industry is small, the figures are small, so why not use these key players who can bring these characters to life? And we have fun. So that's how I met them.
Okay. How long was the schedule of filming?
Oh, it was easy. Scheduling was like a weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. It was from like Friday through Sunday.
All right. So y'all worked it out and made it do what it do.
Yeah, I like to get in fast, quick, and in a hurry.
Okay. So what kind of, how can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
Could you yourself, well, before we get into this question that I'm going to ask you, describe the three characters to the audience so that they can get a sense of what we're talking about.
Okay. So in the film, you have Lydell, who's engaged to this character, Griffith. Griffith is this socialite who comes from the Upper East Side in Manhattan. And if you are familiar with New York, the Upper East Side is like the creme de la creme. It's like, it's where the money's at, the old money. So Griff is from that world, and he comes from very overbearing parents who's like high society, who's kind of instilled in him like a controlness. And Griffith is like very controlling. He kind of sees Lydell as property.
Mm.
And he's the type of guy that you see, they have a pretty face, and you just want to get to know them, but then they just switch on you. Like, he's that guy. Like, he can switch. He's like a bipolar type of guy, but an angry, aggressive bipolar.
Okay. And then tell us about Lydell.
So Lydell is from Arizona, and originally I wasn't going to play Lydell. I had another actor, but he dropped out as well, so I took on the part. Lydell is from Arizona. He comes to New York searching for love, because in Arizona, he was in an abusive relationship with his father. So, of course, he's attracted to the Griffith type. He meets Griffith in college. They form this relationship. They've been together for a long time. He has this best friend, Sutton, who is like a brother. But not like a brother because, that would be incest. He's more like, he's that best friend you have that you love, it's the elephant in the room that you two love each other, but you just don't say it and you're just too scared.
Right.
Yeah, he's that type of guy. And Lydell is the type of guy who uses Griffith because he needs something from him.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So he's that guy who's searching for love, but he uses love for his advantage.
Right. Okay.
And that's the characters.
Okay. So do you know a Griff or a Sutton right now, currently in your life?
I would say, and this sounds crazy, that I kind of identify with Griff a lot. And why I say this because it took me some years to really get to know myself. And I didn't really know myself I didn't get to know myself until like the past 3 years. That's when I really found out who I am, what I love, what I want.
Okay.
Before that, I was in a relationship for 3 years and I was immature. I wasn't ready. And one day we got into this altercation and I found myself lunging at this person. And then I kind of blacked out, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't want to be that person. I'm not that person. And I didn't understand what it was like to communicate in a relationship. That's where Griffith comes from. He comes from that immature boy who didn't know how to be in a relationship, where now I'm a man and I know what a relationship is. I know how to handle my dude and I know what I want.
Okay. So from watching the film, I get a sense of Griffith being this overbearing, cocky, he swears he's on top of the world kind of guy. He can talk to you however he wants to. No one's ever going to touch him. And then I get Sutton is this very around the way type of guy, the boy next door. He's really cool to be around with. He likes to have fun. He likes to party. He likes to laugh. And he's very flirtatious if he likes you. And he definitely is loyal and has your back. And then I get Lydell. Lydell to me is kind of, he's a bit sad. Like, to be able to allow someone to do the things that Griff does to him just for the sake of saying, oh, you know, he's helping me financially or whatever the case may be. And then you see this great guy, Sutton, who definitely has his back, and he doesn't even see that. Lydell doesn't even see any of that. And for me, it's just like, I don't know, you know how when you watch a film, you have the enemy and then you have the hero? It's like Lydell is the enemy. It's like, I don't understand, like, you know.
He's the guy you love to hate.
Right.
He's the guy you just want to shake and say, what the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
Yeah.
It
but Griffith, you have to think about it, is a master manipulator. So he's in Lydell's head. So if Lydell is in a relationship with the guy who's like, oh, I'm in control, but you try to walk away, oh, I'm going to cry and make you stay, make you see that I really love you and I want you, and I'm going to make you come back. So I guess Lydell is in that cycle where he wants to leave Griffith, but Griffith does something. He loves Griffith, but Griffith, you know, he does shit that just really gets under Lydell's skin, but he's just afraid to leave at the same time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right. No, it does. It does. It does. And I'm glad that I just don't know anybody that's dealing with this in their life, because I would have to slap them. Like, are you serious? Like, it's interesting because once you get into your 30s, you start to realize how things should be. From a mental perspective, and how what you will and will not tolerate in life becomes so clear. And it's just, I'm watching this film and there's no way I would ever, you know what I'm saying? Now, are there any like bloopers? Do you have any funny moments that are filmed that you can definitely, are you gonna show that to the audience?
So the good thing about this film is that I wanted to take both of my characters, Griffith and Sutton, I wanted them to each have their own ending. So I have where it becomes available November 18th, 2016, colorofloveproduction.com. The audience can go and they can choose if they want to see Sutton's character or they can see Griffith's character.
Okay.
So I have like a little present for them when they purchase the film. It's some bloopers that's attached to the purchase.
All right. That's pretty cool. That's really interesting.
I want to build a community of Black gay cinema where people can come with talent. They can come to my studio, deliver and we give the best experience to our audience. Like, I want to build the community that Black people are proud to look at the images that's on TV. You know, I want them to really have love stories, and I want them to have these characters that's just not, oh, I'm coming out, or, you know, oh, I'm dating a DL type of guy. I want them to have real emotional issues, and that's why I love Patrick Ian Polk and like Quincy and what's the other guy, DeAndre, his partner. Like, I love those guys, and I worked with Patrick on The Skinny, so I got to meet him. But hopefully, I can meet Quincy one day and DeAndre. Like, I love those guys because their work is beautiful. They create characters that I look at and I'm like, wow, like these characters I identify with, and they have problems, and it's not all just like, oh, my sexuality, you know, makes me scared to live life. Like, they get characters that the characters love life, and I love that.
Okay, so if you had to tell someone that, let's just say we have a Lydell that's watching right now. Yeah. What advice would you give this particular person in life with dealing with relationships?
I would tell them to look within yourself, know that this relationship is toxic, that it's not going to be any advantages in the relationship. Like, if you are constantly crying, if you're being abused, if you have a person who doesn't even love you, who doesn't pay attention to you, you know when someone loves you. Like, they give you their attention, they give you their heart, they give you their time. So if you have a guy that's neglecting you, those are the signs. And you never know. One day you could be sitting down and it could just escalate to the next level. So just get out of the situation. If you know that your heart doesn't beat for this person, leave. Like, you need to get out, because if that person gets into your head, it's hard. Like, you can say, oh, I could leave, you know, I'm gonna be strong, but you don't know. When you in love, that person has a hold on you. So just be careful and know who you love.
And what would you tell a Griffith if he was, besides grabbing the back, what would you tell a Griffith if he's watching right now?
I would tell a Griffith, and like I said, Griffith was molded after myself, and I had to learn. And the one message I can tell you, I'm not like that anymore. Like, that's so far removed from who I am now. But it took that Griffith to get me to the site. You know what I mean? I guess I would say you continue to do what you do, and karma is going to catch you at the end. And that's what I could say without giving the ending to the film.
Right, definitely. So could you see Don't Marry Griff becoming a series, or is this just a one-time thing for the film, and then you're going to branch off to do different work? Where do you see your path?
So this is actually the first of a trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm writing the next one, which is Get Over Griff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm actually in talks to bring in some really fresh talent. Like, I'm scouting in the ATL. I have a couple other movies that I'm working on now, which I got some fresh talent from ATL. And not just there, but I'm going all over to find good talent. I want talented Black men. But I have the new one coming out, and I also need a sexy, chocolate, tall, bald-headed, dark-skinned, beautiful guy. So if you know anybody, let me know. Who can act?
Okay. Well, you know, I dibble and dabble in the world of entertainment, but don't you live like 8,000 miles away?
But if I love talent, I'll bring the talent to me.
Okay. All right. Y'all hear that, right? Y'all hear that, right? That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing.
That's my mission. That's what I want to do, and I love doing it. I love it. I can see it. I can see it like not becoming a series. I want it to live on in film. Like, I want film to be my mission. I want to give you worlds like this right here is a trilogy, but I want to give you worlds that, you know, they don't go on and become repetitive. I want them to be fresh, and I want you to leave with something. I want you to always come back to them with fresh and see something new.
Okay. Are there any famous directors or producers that you are inspired by?
Yes. So growing up, you know, there wasn't really a lot of representation, I guess, for gay Black men. Like, I saw, what was the shows that was popular, Queer as Folk and stuff like that. Like I watched those, but I guess who really stuck out to me is Patrick Ian Polk. He's like I love him. Quincy and DeAndre, I love that guy. Lee Daniels, like I give him props for giving us a voice now. Who else do I really love? Robert Townsend. I love Robert Townsend, from Jackie's Bag to Media Man to what is his other film that I just love? The Five Heartbeats. Like Robert Townsend's like one of my favorites, although he's not gay. Who else? Andrew McCarthy is another one, because he does the Orange is the New Black, and his eye for directing is awesome. Who else is another one? John Leguizamo. Although he's not a director, he's a great producer, and I love his content.
Okay, pretty. Yeah, that's a nice, eclectic, diverse group of people to be inspired by. That's pretty cool. So, do you see yourself having all of your content on your own .com, or are you going to branch out to YouTube? Are you going to utilize YouTube or Vimeo? Like, how are people going to be able to see all of your work?
So right now I'm taking baby steps. I have everything. I'm producing myself. I'm self-funding everything. Because I don't want any studio to tell me what I can and cannot do. I spent so many years going on auditions and sending my manuscript and just kept hearing no. So now I do it my way. I don't let anybody tell me nothing. I call the shots. And I guess that's kind of where that Griffith ego, arrogant comes in, because when you do business, you have to be a cutthroat person.
Definitely.
And I've learned a lot from the corporate world, so I use those skills to, help my business grow. And I want to take this to the next level. Like right now I'm doing it .com, but I want to take it to the film world, the movies. I want to have I want to be bigger than Tyler Perry.
Okay. All right. That's a huge, a huge spot to definitely set yourself up for. So
but
that's pretty.
Everything I want.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Tyler Perry is definitely doing his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own company. He produces his own stuff. He writes his own stuff. He directs his own stuff. He acts in his own stuff. So he's definitely a one-man team in more ways than one, as far as being able to control everything that he puts out into the universe. Yeah. How can people get in contact with you if they want to be a part of your projects?
So you can email me at colorofloveproduction@gmail.com. Or you can go to colorofloveproduction.com, and you can go to the contact me page. You can email me, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Just put Stephen L. Cord, and I'll send you all my links so they can contact me. And yeah, because I want talent. I want guys who are in these cities where they don't have opportunities. I want you to contact me. I want to bring these characters to life. I want to entertain the world. So, yes, please hit me up.
That's pretty cool. That's real cool. So when they do hit you up, do they need to submit a headshot? Do they need to submit a bio? What do they need to send you?
So the good thing about my production company, I try to think outside the box. I try to do something different. So what I do is I try to do like a Skype or like a FaceTime meet and greet, so that way I get a chance to get to know the real you. Because if you come into an audition room, you're going to be polished, you're going to be buttoned up, and you're not going to give me your real personality.
Right.
So I like to have that interaction where I get to see you as your person, and then I like to do an on-camera interview. Audition interview. And I try to make it so it's not stuffy and not a lot of pressure. I want you to have fun.
Okay.
Because that's what we do it.
Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So what else do you have to let the world know about your show, and why should they even care about, Don't Marry Griff? Let us know.
Okay, why you should care about Don't Marry Griff? Because Don't Marry Griff is a labor of love. It's a project that it took me a lot of courage to go ahead and bring this to life. It's for Black gay men who need content to watch, who want to be entertained, who want to be educated and entertained at the same time. It's for guys who want a place where they can escape their problems for 51 minutes and just enjoy some laughter, but also some serious content at the same time, and get to know these characters because they are you, and I want to entertain you guys and make you laugh and just bring love to you guys.
So will Chris and JR reconnect with those characters again for the second movie, or is the second and third movie already done, or?
No.
Okay.
So I'm taking my time. I don't want to rush it. So I'm still writing it. I have reached out to them, and they are interested in coming back, which is great. But I'm also trying to reach out to this other personality, Jacob Gehinor.
Okay.
I love his personality and his acting. So I reach out to him, and hopefully, we can get him. And some other talent, Damian Crawford. I reached out to him. So we have some good talent that I found. I have a new movie called Ray that's coming out in 2007, and that's with Gary LeVard, who did an awesome job. And that's about a gay struggling model who makes it in New York.
Okay, so that's already wrapped and done.
That's already wrapped and done.
All right. Shout out to Gary LeVard. Shout out to Damian Crawford. Shout out to Jacob Gehinor. I know all those guys. I haven't met Gary, but I've seen his work on About Him.
He's a fantastic guy. Very professional. He exceeded my expectations.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I can't wait to see Damian. I haven't seen Damian. It's been a minute, at least over a year. Okay. And Jacob, I haven't seen Jacob in about a couple years. So yeah, cool, real cool. I'm appreciative of what you're doing. It definitely helps us in not only keeping us entertained, but definitely gives us the opportunity to have a voice and to not have a stereotypical voice. Right. Because I think one of the struggles with being able to put out media for us to watch is to have it be consistent with reality and not have it just be one lane and just one type of thing that we always see.
Right, and porn. Because every single YouTube show now has porn. It's I don't want to see penises. Give me the illusion. Let me use my imagination.
But, one thing I will say about that, though, it's definitely pushing the envelope.
It is.
And what I mean by that is it's allowing people to see this is what we do. This is how it happens. It's not a figment of your imagination. This is real. We are here. We aren't going anywhere. And for that, I appreciate it. But it does not need to be force-fed all the time. I think sometimes you'll have a moment where you don't really need to see the nudity, and it just comes up for shock value. Yeah. And I think that's when it really takes away from the story and the overall importance of what's actually happening on screen. But then of course there's those couple of moments where you're like, oh, okay, he's cute.
I just think that's the new millennial thinking.
Oh, okay. Well, at the same time, you from a business standpoint, you definitely have to wow your audience and keep your audience entertained.
You do.
And to capture multiple mindsets when they're watching this, because a lot of the times you're really not going to have the millennials watch YouTube for the most part, and so they definitely.
I don't have that, but I'm going to give you a tastefully submitted product.
So basically, what you're saying is someone's not going to pull their dick out, and you're not just going to see that.
No, probably not. No. Maybe my next life, when I do production, next life.
yeah. I don't. Dick is really not. It's whatever. But at the same time, like I said, it's allowing people to push the envelope in the way that they see that they should push it. So definitely shouts out to everybody that's doing their thing and being creative.
Everybody.
Okay. All right, that's what's up. So I want to thank you so much for coming on and definitely allowing us to get a view of what your world is like creatively. Yeah. Is there a way that we could drop a little trailer after this video? Should they stay tuned and see a little trailer at the end of this?
Sure.
Okay. So let's do that right now. Guys, I want y'all to stay tuned and check out this magnificent trailer.
Don't marry Griff.
All right, there we go. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned.
Oh, and also please check out my other film, Heartbreaks and Soulmates. That's on my YouTube channel as well.
All right. So all the links will be right below for that.
All of the links will be below.
All right.
Thank you.
That's what's up. Okay, so we'll wrap up there.
I think that's the Big Dipper. It ain't no Big Dipper. You failed astronomy.
I saw you guys dancing on the dance floor at the rehearsal dinner.
This is our day, okay? And with this behavior, you're gonna ruin it.
He gonna say that he failed getting out the bathtub.
What's he gonna say next? Griffith only hits me because he loves me?
I couldn't imagine my life without Griffin.
That boy don't know what a catchy is.
Well, maybe I should leave there.
Yeah, maybe you should go.
I would prefer him to come home without the stink of the projects on him. I'm pretty sure you can understand that. If not, you can smell him.
Don't come here looking for me to be your rock on your sounding board. He's calling. Calm down. I'm fine.
Oh, you're fine.
I will be there to get you back in check.
Explain to the people that weren't able to understand your history with your sister, if you can give us a little brief synopsis of how you came to meet and how that all worked out for the show.
Okay, yeah, I met Asia when I was about 15. I was about to turn 16.
I was trying to hurry. I didn't know nothing. All I did was I came. I didn't want to do nothing. I was so hungover. I couldn't do nothing.
There was everything else.
Right.